Pharisees had heard that Jesus made them baptize more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples. He left Judea and departed again unto Galilee, and he must needs go through Samaria. Then he cometh to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the parcel of ground Jacob gave his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, therefore, being wearied from his journey, sat thus on the well. And it was about the 6th hour, and there cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, ask drink of me, which I am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that said unto thee, Give me drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? And Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give to him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give to him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. This morning, our empowering thought is take the offer. Tell your neighbor, take the offer. Take the offer. So this title came out of the class I had, the compelling preaching class. And so I probably would have used a different title, but I like this, take the offer. And so that's what we're going to talk about, taking the offer. So Pastor V and I are crime buffs. Y'all already know that. And but sometimes we watch crime shows that actually deal with the person actually going on trial. Not often, but we just want to get to who did it. And we don't care what happened after that, because you know you're going to jail for life. So some people may pay for a good lawyer. Then you have people who get what they call a public attorney. And then there are some people who end up getting that bootleg. Come on, y'all. That bootleg lawyer, you know that one? You're like, okay, this is all the money I got. So you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, in some cases, the district attorney offers them a plea deal. And it is their lawyer's responsibility to advise their client whether this is a good deal or not. So if you watch Law and Order, they always say, take the offer. I'm one who tries to weigh the facts before making a decision. I often tell Pastor V, look, I got to process this. Let me process this. Usually like, process what? But anyway, I have to process this because I'm trying to look at all of the angles and if this offer is legit, how it's going to benefit me. How it's going to benefit you, because you're making an offer. Come on, somebody. We don't do anything that don't serve us. So if you're making an offer, how does it benefit you? So But for some of us, before we take the offer, some of us want to feel like we're in a winning moment when we get the offer. Are y'all following me? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? But then you have other people who feel like I have to feel like I'm getting over on you in order to accept the offer. Come on, somebody. Y'all know anybody like that? Then there was there who don't care what, nothing, how much havoc the offer even cause in their life or anybody else's life. They just want the deal. Right? Y'all follow me? And of course, you have those, it doesn't matter what you offer them, they won't make a decision at all. You can say, if you go to the 7-Eleven and ask for a Mega $1 Million ticket at 2:30 and put these numbers on, you're going to win. And they'll get there at 2:35. Y'all know anybody like that? Y'all laughing, it must be y'all. I don't, so what happens is I'm not saying that any of those people are bad or you are bad necessarily. What I'm saying is whatever the offer is, make sure that all the offers leads to your wholeness. The wholeness of your inner self, not the outer self. Because see, we'll take an offer that makes us look good outside. But when it's an offer that deals with what's happening inside, we're less likely to do it. Because why? You got to deal with yourself. So if you're going to take the offer, let me make sure I say this again. Make sure the offer leads to your wholeness. Tell somebody got to lead to wholeness. And I'm using the word wholeness because unless the inside is healed, the outside can't. I don't care what you put on it. Because wholeness comes from the inside out, not the outside in. Are y'all still with me? So what exactly does this mean? How do I do it to make sure the offer leads to wholeness? Mark 8:36 says, "For what shall it profit man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul?" Now, we usually talk about this scripture for salvation, but I want to talk about it a little different. What does it profit you if you gain all of this outside stuff and your soul dies? And I'm not talking about going to hell. I'm talking about not living, not being free. You're a millionaire, but you're in prison in your soul. You are you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, fly wherever you want, but you have no peace, you have no happiness, you have no love. You're sitting by here, but you have nothing else because nobody can be around you because your inside is so messed up. Even though you're a millionaire, when you present yourself, it nullifies whatever you're about. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about. So what does it profit you to gain the whole world? Bishop, what does it profit you to drive in the Escalade and nobody want to get in there with you? What does it profit you to get the job, to get the business? All of this, and you're building this mega empire, but inside of you, you are struggling. And inside of you is crying out and saying, help, help. And you keep piling more stuff on the outside, trying to weigh it down so that voice, you thinking that voice is going to go away, but tell somebody it ain't going away. Because sooner or later, it has to implode. Because the inside has not been healed. Are y'all still with me today? So what would it profit you if you are not willing to commit to the inside experience of taking the God you to the healing place? Was it ever profit you to have the biggest house, but you in there by yourself? That's what we're going to talk. So the important thing is you are committed to the outside. And this is just not you. It's the church as we see it, the church triumphant, the bride of Christ triumphant. We are committed to the outside experience. We're committed to looking good. We're committed to that. But what does it take for you to uncommit to the outside experience and start taking care of the inside experience? That's me. What does it profit you? What are you willing to give up to get healed inside? Doesn't matter what you have. What are you willing to deal with the truth of the matter that I suck? What are you willing to deal with? And here it is that we are in a society today that we fast forward everything. My life is too busy. People are dependent. What does it profit you that the whole world is dependent on you and Christ is the only one who died for you? If the whole world depended on you, you must be Christ. What does it profit you to gain this whole world and lose on the relationship with Christ, to lose on the relationship with God, lose on the fullness of the manifestation of the Holy Spirit in you, to lose on all of that because you're too busy? Are y'all with me this morning? This is the reason why Christianity seems so ineffective, because we are so busy trying to show people God instead of being the God that's in us. We are so bent on showing the blessings materialistically that our inside persons are so broken that it can't even lift a pen. What does it profit? So take the offer. We are seeking healing, but we keep masking the outside, and the more broken we are inside, the more we put on the outside, and the more broken we get inside, we keep adding. You know, a better way to have it. You know, you get a little scar, and you put the thing on there, and it covers it up. But it seemed to come through. You keep packing it on till you look death ready. Oh, y'all ain't talking to me in here. How many of y'all came and see in the casket and you say, good God Almighty, come on. You look death ready because you've been covering. And at a point, it won't matter because it's going to show through, because what's inside have to manifest to the outside. Tell somebody it got to manifest. And so why it is important that we change our mindset and think about the inner person is because God's work from the inside out, not the outside in. So that's what I mean by making sure that the offer leads to wholeness. Now, let's talk about what it takes to do this, because Pastor V taught this lesson, I don't know how long ago. So what does it take? So Pastor V taught us, if it doesn't hurt God, your fellow human being, or yourself, then you can have it. See? Now listen to the offer. If the offer that is proposed to you doesn't hurt God, doesn't hurt your fellow human being or yourself, then you can accept it. But what about if it doesn't hurt God? If it doesn't hurt somebody else, and it doesn't hurt yourself, then you good. Y'all ain't hearing me in here, because some of you already talking to yourself in your mind, trying to figure out a way around what I'm saying. And so to process all your offers through this teaching, and you will always have success. Because if it cut one of those corners, you know that's not a good deal. It does not lead to my wholeness. Because see, once you become whole, that wholeness in you will overflow to the outside of you, and others will become whole. Are y'all still with me? So remember, if it doesn't hurt God or your fellow human being or yourself, you good. Now let's go to our text, because you have to take the offer. This is a very well-known scripture of the woman at the well in Samaria. At a particular time of day, she goes, as the text says, to draw water. Am I right? And so as she gets there, she is given an offer by the Lord. But before he makes this offer, there were some challenges he would have to address. Those challenges had nothing to do with anybody outside of her. There was inner self challenges she had to address or overcome. So she had to deal with these things before she can make the decision to accept or deny. And so what I want you to understand, you are the woman at the well. Tell somebody, is she talking about you? And Jesus has come to make you an offer. Just like the woman at the well, we have some challenges before we accept this offer that we have to deal with. Your first challenge is overcoming typical behaviors, or better, cultural norms, as we call them. Overcoming typical behavior. Verse 9. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which I am a woman of Samaria? But the Jews have no dealing with the Samaritans. She has to overcome typical behaviors. Cultural norms. So the cultural norms of classism, racism, sexism, denominationalism, these things have to be addressed. The classism, even the cultural norms of family, the cultural norm of society where I grew up, my neighborhood, your neighborhood, the fact that I never rode on the school bus, but you did. You have to deal with all of these things before you can take the offer. And so when we look at it, you have to understand that she was a Samaritan and Jesus was a Jew. So to understand the text in context of how this conversation is happening, you would have to understand the people of that time. Now, one of the things we always get in trouble with as preachers is we don't have the context right. So therefore, we make challenges, decisions, or tell you about your life out of context. Women should be solid in the church. Out of context. You have to know the context of what the conversation was being had, and then you would know. And so let me just say this. Let me park right here for a second. The Bible, when you read the stories or the books of the Bible, you're reading the Pauline letters and those letters. Those letters are how Paul wrote and talked to the church. What you don't see is what they asked Paul. So therefore, you can take it out of context because you're reading what Paul said to them, but you don't know what was the question asked to Paul. So when it says a bishop must be a man of one wife, what was the question? The church was new. Women weren't in any position really. So the letter may have said, we have men who want to be a pastor or a bishop. How do we address it? Well, you tell them they have to be a husband of one wife. He wasn't necessarily saying a woman can't be a bishop because you don't know what the question out of context or what they said to him. Are y'all with me? Let me get back to my text. And so let's look at the context of why she is saying what she is saying to Jesus. She said, Jesus, you are a Jew and I am a Samaritan. Guess what? Now, to help you understand, you're reading the text that she said that, look, isn't this our father Jacob's well? So that tells you what? She's a Jew. So she is a Jew and she's addressing Jesus as a Jew, but she is a Samaritan of a Jew, and they have no dealings with each other because they deal with classism. Come on. So Jesus is a good Jew. Oh, y'all ain't hearing me. From the tribe of Judah. He's a good Jew. He purebred. Come on, somebody. Ain't no black sheeping around this. He is the Jew of Jews. Are y'all following me? But on her side, she is called a Samaritan, which means, better yet, she's trailer park trash. She grew up in the projects like me. That's what a Samaritan is. And so she knows that those Jews have nothing to do with these Jews. And so how could he be asking me for something to drink when, wait a minute, I ain't your slave. I might be low, but I ain't. Come on, y'all. So you have to overcome the typical behaviors in order to accept the offer, because when Jesus comes, he is a Jew too. And she throws out the difference of classism to him. Come on, somebody. And so we now know that they both are Jews. And so the statement now seems a little strange because she's saying, now you are overstepping here. Because we don't deal with each other. You know, I'm the trailer park trash, and you from the other side of the street. You got the silver spoon, and I got no spoon. You went to the good schools. I went, better yet, the church of today said, so you understand. We are black people, right? But one of the things I experienced growing up is classism, is black people are very racist. So the example, because we have the shades of blackness in here, I can say this. I grew up under the guise of, if I was light-skinned, red bone, whatever title you want to say it, I was naturally better than the dark-skinned. So, come on. See, that's classism. And we do it to each other. Tell somebody, you don't need white, black. Just stay with the black. We do it to each other. So it was the assumption, we conditionally believe that when I see some people, a person of lighter skin, I would treat her a certain way. I don't even know who they are. I would treat her a certain way. Why? Because I know she thinks she's better than me. And so I treat her in a way that's disrespectful, and she don't even know what's happening. Oh, y'all talking back to me today. And so out of that, let's jump on her boat. He or she going everywhere and being treated by their own people, messed up because of the color of, that's double racism. Oh, I can't get no help in here today. And so that's what is happening with Jesus and the woman of Samaria. And so if y'all want to be holy about it, let's get to church. We Baptists and you Methodists, Seventh-day Adventist church. I don't care what you are, Kojic. I don't care what you are. Oh, y'all don't believe? Yeah, we can't deal with you because God. And so we cannot accept the offer because of these typical behaviors we have been conditioned to believe that are true. Are y'all still with me? And so we are Baptists here. And so that's why we primarily fellowship with Baptists, because we have somewhat of a same belief. Oh, come on, somebody. Now, I can't hang out with those people who are deliverance because I can't be in church 10 hours. Because they're going to cast out every demon in the place. Come on, somebody. So we don't want to do, Bishop, don't ever do no revivals with them folk, because we can't be hanging out all night with you. Come on, somebody. Not understanding the offer is you. I am still called to preach. So whether it's here, there, anywhere, my platform is Deliver Victorious Living. Why? Because they have not experienced what you experienced. Oh, Jesus Christ, help me. And so here we find Jesus destroys the tradition of cultural norms. Rip it right up. He destroys these cultural, not only by having the conversation with her, but continuing to have the conversation with her when the disciples show back up. See, y'all ain't like that. See, you will talk to somebody of a different faith till your fellow folk show up, then you're going to start backing off like, yeah, they over there. They don't believe what we believe. Why? Because you have to overcome them typical behaviors. You have to be willing to stand in and say, look, that's all right. We're going to keep our conversation going. See, if you line your stuff up with truth, you will never go wrong. I don't care who's talking about you. See, if you don't go over there and talk to the sinner, how are they going to hear about God? Well, you hanging out with the sinners and the tax collector. That's what they told Jesus. And Jesus said, well, I came to heal the sick, those who are lost. You're found. Clearly, you're found because you're telling me what I'm doing. Y'all ain't hearing me. And so he destroys the tradition of cultural norms. Because when the disciples come back, come on, y'all know how y'all are. Why is she talking to him? Come on. Is he talking to her? From a ways down the street. Girl. I'm going to film this. I'm going to see how they're going to get out of it. Come on. We see it all the time in social media. Why? Because you're not trying to break the traditional norms. You're trying to be the norm. You have to be willing in this body that's God's manifesting to break the norms, the typical conversation. You have to be the one to say, that's not right. We shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing this? Why is that like that? Why are you doing that? And when we have somebody who see, they always fast. They're always out of their lane. They always, come on, somebody. Because instead of breaking the norms, we want everybody to comply. Here it is. You have been conditioned to believe that way, that everybody should comply to a certain way. That's what slavery is called. And when it didn't work, they tried to beat the hell out of you. And when that didn't work, they just threw up their hands. Is not that the way we raise our kids? These are my rules. If you can't comply, I'm going to beat the hell out of you to try to make you comply. So we are redoing the same thing that slavery did to us on our children. And the expectation is what they're going to do it to. Tell somebody you got to be able to overcome the typical behaviors. And that's why we look at these mothers today and we say, oh, they too soft. No, it's your experience. Now, I'll give credit to my daughter, Jennifer. Lord have mercy. I don't know how she deal with them. Because when I got them two by myself, I'm like, holy cow, is this even possible? She's a wonderful mother. And she treats each of them individually. She don't treat them like we the pack. She treats them individually like they are their own little human being. And so therefore, you can see their personality bubbling and popping out. You just ain't going to talk to them any kind of way because they're going to express it. Why are you talking to me like that? Wait a minute. Because see, we've been conditioned. You don't raise your voice at me, or you don't look at me like that, or you don't talk to me like that. But when you do that, you are stopping them from being who they are. And when they grow up, they can't be who they are because you tell them they couldn't. Oh, come on, somebody. Are y'all still with me? So he destroys. So in the court of public opinion, most of us would have disregarded the conversation with Jesus just to keep up with our outer appearance. Even though the inner self was hungry. I want to know what he really offered. But I have to remember people are watching me. That's why Nicodemus came at night. Because I have an outer appearance I have to keep up, regardless of how much the inner person is hurting. What does it profit you to gain your outer appearance and your inner appearance still die? There's something you got to take the offer. And so you have to be able to say to yourself, the court of public, I have to stop. Because the cussing spirit really almost got me. Whoa. You have to say to the court of public opinion, it just don't matter. Because I am willing to give out everything that's outside of me to be healed. Not just to be healed. I don't want to be healed. I want to be made whole. See, the difference in healing and being made whole is healing take care of the now. Whole take care of it forever. And so I want to be made whole. So when the manifestation of God inside of me begin to manifest, I know this thing about to blow this thing wide open, because I'm not concerned with something coming and catching me in the back end of it, because I've been made whole. There's nothing to come. See, I'm not concerned with my inner child trying to sneak back up on me when I'm in the boardroom because somebody said, that don't sound right. I know that I'm whole, so it doesn't sound right because you're not listening. Are y'all with me? Tell somebody take the offer. The second challenge is to do your own work. Y'all still with me? Verse 11. This is after Jesus says, give me something to drink. Verse 11 says, the woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw, or the well is deep. Wait a minute. Let's go back to verse 7. Verse 7 told us that this is why he went to the well to draw water. Now you are telling Jesus that you have nothing to draw. So if Jesus wasn't there, what were you going to do? How were you going to get the water? It's still deep. Come on. So how would so she quickly gave an excuse that had nothing to do with why she was there. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? So if Jesus wasn't there, how would she would have gotten the water if there was nothing to draw and the well was deep? Has nothing to do because she made an excuse not to do her work. Come on, somebody. You have to be willing to do your work, period. That's it. When someone presses you about what you are supposed to be doing, stop giving excuses and start doing your work. Did not she go to the well to draw water? Stop giving an excuse. Do your work. You better look around, find a rope, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. When somebody call you on it, don't now give an excuse. Well, I know. Well, Pastor, you said, was it 1:30 or 2:30? What were you supposed to be doing? Oh, it's quiet in here. Lord Jesus. So what? The only person you are hurting when you give all of these excuses are yourself. Why is that? Because you are giving excuses, and those excuses become railroad tracks in your mind. And whenever a bump happens, you hit the railroad tracks. That's your automatic button. This is the excuse I give. Not, oh man, they called me out. They peaked my game. And if they call you out strong enough, then you're going to be big and bad, and then you're going to tear them down. Who you talking to? You being disrespectful to me. Wait a minute. That's your job. I'm not telling you to do anything outside of the scope you should be doing. And you're going to jump bad on me and say, I'm disrespecting you? No, you're disrespecting yourself. Boy, it's quiet in here. Nobody can do your work for you. Tell your neighbor, say nobody can do it. It is the tough work of internal healing that must be done. Because see, you just didn't become that way. Somebody helped you become that way. See, the first excuse you gave, somebody didn't call you on the carpet. So you said, I got away with it, so I'll just do it again. And then you develop a pattern. And then whenever this comes up, you go into your pattern mode instead of trying to step out and say, what's really happening? Oh my God. Are y'all still with me? Not only that, let me give it a better. What happens when somebody calls you out, you deflect it. You project it back on the person calling you out. Why? Because you don't want to do your work, and you don't want to feel bad about not doing your work. So you try to make them feel bad about you not doing your work. Gaslighting. That's what it is. And so instead of them now being somebody who can help you, they now become a distant person. Say, I ain't messing with her no more. And remember, I told you, you don't have haters. Everybody love you. Everybody is pushing you, being used by God to push you to your destiny. And when you say, I ain't messing with her, no, let me tell you, you have cut off part of your blessing, because that person is just not there by osmosis. God didn't bring it to their attention that your potential is this and you doing this. They brought it because you need to be healed. Tell somebody, you need to be healed. Because we have been conditioned to believe, especially as a people, that we are lazy. And so every opportunity comes, we can be lazy. We are lazy. We don't want to do the work. We're in the most advanced age of, you have the whole world at your fingertips. You have the whole world at your fingertips. We're a month and a half away from voting. And we still have people who are undecisive. You have the whole world at your fingertips. I don't advocate who to vote for, because that's not my position. My position is for you to use the office of vote that somebody died for you to have. Because however this things work out, my Bible tells me that the government is on Christ's shoulder. So I'm not too concerned with who gets in there, because there are lies coming from both ways. And everybody who's talking about it, showing the lie from this way, I don't care about that. Matter of fact, I don't care who endorsed who, because that's just one vote. Go and vote. And if you don't know who to vote for, you have the world at your fingertips. And if you're still confused, use the word. A tree is known by the fruit it bears. It cannot bear an orange if it's an apple. The word says that if you will know the truth, and the truth shall. So if you're telling me something that doesn't give me freedom, then I know you're not. Let me get back to my text. So this is why when Pastor V said, I want to go to school of intervention, I was like, okay. I was kind of reserved. I was like, oh Lord, how are we going to balance this in ministry? And I experienced that. And I said, well, let's do it, babes. And because you know how I am, well, she didn't know how I was in this case. I said, let's do it. We pay for the whole thing. Because see, that's how I am. I got to do it. Y'all know how I am. I'm a preemie. So if I pray for the whole thing, she's less likely to drop out. Come on, somebody. Because the money's gone. Y'all follow me? So now I have a commitment on her part that when she think, come on, somebody. See, there you go. Take the offer. So I know what the offer was, but we got to go all in on it. And see what happens with you. You're trying to take part of the offer and not throw your whole self into it. So you keep coming up short. Why? Because you're getting a little of this, a little of this, a little of this, instead of all of it. If you're going to go all in, go all in. You can't have a bird's in the nest is better than a bird. No. What do you have? Go all in. So Pastor V, she is a spiritual life coach. And she knows other spiritual life coaches. Are y'all still with me? And so we won't, if you can't seem to figure out how to get your inner healing, seek out a professional to help you. Are y'all still with me? That's with your gout, high blood. Seek out Here's another. If you're not into medicines, and if you take them, they always have a side effect. I don't care who you are. Find a herbalist who knows that can give you what you really need. Don't go finding no book and going out in your backyard and looking at leaves. Because you don't know enough. Oh, come on, somebody. And as a people, we don't know enough, but I'd rather spend hundreds of thousands of dollars going to a doctor to give me medicine than to go to a herbalist. And here it is. I'd rather spend $500, no, $1,000 on my phone that goes in my pocket than to seek professional help to help my inner man get healed. Are y'all following me? Let me give you an example. So, Lord, I know she's listening. I'm going to put you out there, babe. Sorry. Because we have the conversation and she gets emails and texts. Oh, Coach V, can you coach me? Yes, I'm $200 an hour. $200 an hour? Well, how much those cold shoes you got on? And your feet still hurt. You are willing to spend any cost on the outside, but won't spend a penny to get the inner man healed. There's something wrong with our society when we think that way. I would rather give my whole paycheck and be whole than to be wearing everything, have everything, and not happy one day of my life. Oh, y'all ain't talking back to me in here. And so why? So because we've been conditioned to believe that way. We as a people bring in $4.6 billion to the economy every year. But we don't own houses. We don't have savings. We have no investments. Why? Because we are not willing to do the work of self. We are willing to put it on the outside of us and let people think we're doing something when we are messed up inside. Y'all ain't talking back to me today. And so we have to get to the point that where healing inside becomes our priority. Oh my goodness. And so people are, wait, $200 an hour. Oh my God. I mean, ooh, boy, she expensive. Oh my God. 1 Timothy 5:8 says, but the scripture says, you must not muzzle an ox to keep it from eating its tread out of grain. And in another place, those who work deserve their pay. How much would it profit you to gain your outside experience and lose your inner you? That must become our problem. And here it is. And we've had this conversation this morning. I told Babes, I said, we're not the most popular out of it. I said, no, I take that back. We are, cussing spirit almost got me. We are giving you a rich word here. I'll put me and V up against anybody at this point. And you're getting it for free. And so what happens is you get so accustomed to getting this rich word that you get it for free that you still go and pay somebody $15,000 and it's right here in your house. I got to go to the Women.out Loose conference and they ain't getting you loose or nothing. Why? Because I'm not talking about the experience of them because they prepare for it, but you go there with the wrong intention, so you come back just like you left. Y'all still like, don't leave me. So we have to change our thinking. We have to change what we're doing. She offered a Sister Queen sanctuary for free. I'm trying to say, her mentor, the person who certified her, you would have to pay, I think is $49 a month for what you get for free. And we ain't spreading the word. Look, y'all better come get this because it's free. And then when you spread the word, the people are so fixated on their busy lives, the outside, that the inside is all messed up and they still won't come. Jesus. And so how do you, y'all still with me? How do you work on you? You got to do your work. Tell somebody you got to do your work. You got to use truth to help you do your work. I can do. So when you tell yourself, I can't, I don't know, I can't, I don't know if am I just too busy? You had to tell some stuff. It ain't happening because I'm too important. And if I don't take care of myself, your stuff ain't gonna happen anyway. And so I have to take the time to heal. Well, you know, so many people pulling on me. You are not Jesus. That's the only person they should be pulling on. Oh, y'all ain't hearing me in here. So you have to tell yourself, I can't, I don't know. So you got to tell yourself, I can do this. I can do all things. I have to make the choice. The offer is being put to me. I have to decide on the offer that I got to heal myself. When you're on the airplane, what do they tell you? Put your mask on. Why? Because if you put them, you fight with somebody trying to get both of y'all going to die. So they put yours first. And when they fight, you just leave them alone and you take all you can. Why? Because self is important. You cannot do anything for anybody else unless you're healed. Oh my God. Tell somebody, take the offer. The third challenge is to shrink not. Us as a people, this is one we really need to listen to. Tell somebody, shrink not. Y'all ready? Verse 16 through 18. Jesus said unto her, go call thy husband and come hither. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. And Jesus said unto her, thou hast said well, I have no husband. For the last had 5 husbands, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and whom thou hast is now not your husband, and that saidest thou truly. Tell somebody, shrink not. See, she didn't shrink. When he said, go call your husband, she knew something was up. She stood flat-footed. She took it right on the chin. You're right. Come on, somebody. The other 5 ain't, and the one you would ain't. She took it right there. Smack. You could not take a harder hit. She was crushed. Oh, the truth being revealed, she was crushed. She know her manner of life. She know how she lived. And Jesus crushed her with a right hook, right to her jaw. But she did not wobble and fall. She stood and took it on the chin. Tell somebody, don't shrink back. Jesus went right to the point. He said, listen. He said, it ain't, all of them ain't yours. I don't care which one you got. It ain't yours. But she didn't shrink back. Tell somebody, you're supposed to be here. Tell somebody else, you're supposed to be here. Specifically in this moment, she didn't walk away in defeat when she was exposed. She stood tall and took it squarely on the chin. Quit allowing insults or even facts to stop you from moving to your healing. Oh, God, help me. If it is being revealed, it's because it needs to heal. See, when we get exposed or somebody says something to us and we know it's true, we jump back. Oh, we run away. You never hurt my feelings like that. It's true. They didn't intentionally hurt your feelings. They brought what you was dealing with or refused to deal it with to the surface so it can be healed. That's when we jump bad. No, that's disrespect and the highest. You don't talk about my mama. You don't even put me up. How you know? You don't know nothing about me. I don't need to know nothing about you because I didn't even know that about you. Spirit said that to you because I could care less. Don't diminish yourself regardless of your circumstances or how you were raised. Not only that, but don't diminish or deny or discredit your own divinity. If it's true, it's true. If it's in the chair, it's in the room. Come on, somebody. And so when truth is being revealed to you, it's being revealed so you can be healed, not so you can jump bad, because here's the offer. Truth is being revealed. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall. Come on, somebody. So the offer is the truth came so you can be free. Do you accept the offer or do you reject the offer because of your own outer feelings? Oh, my God. Y'all still with me? So your fight is not with others. Your fight is within. You don't have somebody brings the truth to you. You better start looking at yourself and say, oh, God, how was that exposed? Instead of trying to deflect to them, you have to look at yourself and say, oh my God, how did this even, that's your time for healing. Now you say, okay, Spirit, I've been playing. You got me. Let me tell you how God works. In every one of us, God gives us the space for self-correction. Now, I don't know how big your space is, how small it is, but the more you come to know truth, your space gets smaller. Do y'all hear me? The more you learn truth, your space gets smaller. But he gives all of us the space for self-correction. When you fail to self-correct, then his universe steps in. And the universe is going to help you self-correct because the law is the truth and it has to manifest. Oh, y'all, see, boy, everything is on me. Everything is again. No. Look inside and see what is happening inside that I need to get this healing for, because everybody's not against me. Everything is spinning to help me, but I'm the only one that ain't spinning. Are y'all still with me? So the woman said, I perceive that thou art a prophet. In other words, she says, the Spirit herself said, I believe you are showing me truth. That's her. Inner her says, oh, the truth is here, baby. I've been trying to tell you on husband number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Now we're at number 5, slipping on to number 6. I've been trying to tell you, but now here is truth. The universe outside of you now comes to bring truth to you. Oh, come on, somebody. And so now you can deny what you are showing me, because the Spirit is showing you now what's inside. And Spirit always meet inside, and it's not going to confuse you with somebody else. It's going to be your truth versus your truth, and you're going to know it's truth. And so you can't deny that it's not happening. He is going to show you exactly who you are. So tell somebody, take the offer. Make sure that all the offers lead to wholeness. Tell somebody, got to lead to wholeness. Not your outer self, your inner self. The offers have to lead to healing and making whole what's inside. If it doesn't hurt God, it doesn't hurt your fellow human being or yourself, you're good. You have to break with traditions and cultural norms to get your healing, because we have been conditioned to believe a certain way. That's the first thing that's going to come up. When the Narcotics Anonymous have their meeting on Mondays at 10, I like to come in and sit. I just like to hear them, because they admit, I believe we used to believe in a certain way. And that certain way caused me to be hooked on drugs. Not only that, it caused me to end up stealing from my family and ending relationships that were very important. And they are willing to be open and admit it. That's the first step of healing. You have to be willing to be open with yourself and say, ooh, no wonder nobody looking like me. I can't even stand myself. You got to be willing to deal with what's inside of you that's causing you to act out the way you act out, because you're only acting out of what's inside. So if you are a grown person and you acting like a 3-year-old, the 3-year-old inside of you need healing. Y'all, come on, somebody. You have to say, no longer do I care what the status quo is or what people are going to think or say. I got to be made whole. Tell somebody, you got to be made whole. And when you are whole, that's when the true manifestation of God happens, inside out. So if other believe, listen, it is okay for you to tell your stories to anybody, and they believe them. But the problem comes when you start to believe them. Let me say that better. You can lie to anybody you want to, but don't lie to yourself. Because when you start to believe the lie, then you're in trouble. Because see, you tell somebody else, they can believe the lie for a minute, and then they're going to forget it. But if you start to believe the lie, your belief becomes your action. You're going to start living that lie, which is not true. Oh, come on, somebody. So stop making excuses and do your work, the inner work. Yes, it may come at a price, because you just didn't get in that 1 minute. You've been doing it your life. Whatever price it takes for me to find inner healing and wholeness, you should be willing to give. When Spirit reveals you to you, it is for you to heal you. Spirit reveals, you heal. Tell somebody, don't shrink back. Take it right on the chin. If you got to lose a tooth or two, lose it. But don't you fall, don't you waver, don't you stand right there and take it right on the chin, because you're going to say, I'm going to take this offer. Because they that worship him must worship him in spirit. That's what if you read the text, it goes in there. Must worship him in spirit, the inner self, and truth. The word of God manifested. The inner self manifests out. God is invisible, but he's invisible. Do y'all get that? That's truth. But it's that truth Because his truth says, you shall know and the truth shall make. And when you found freedom, you find wholeness. No more shackles, no more thoughts, no more inner child, no more this, no more sick, no more none of that. Because I found in all ways how to be content. That I'm 59 years old. And that 36-year-old Paul is going to show up somewhere. Come on, somebody. But I know to tell him, it's all right. I got this. Because see, you was young and experienced. You lack wisdom. But I'm 59. I have wisdom. I got this. You go and sit down and be okay. I got this. And you will always win. Why? Because you will be walking in wisdom. And people will see that and gravitate to it. Trying to figure out what it is about you that keeps drawing me. And that's your evangelistic moment. No. It's not about church. It is about being whole within. So I can stand flat-footed with the best of any preacher in this world, knowing that the word that I give is just as powerful, if not more powerful. Take the offer. Jesus offered her the living water. Take the offer. Take the offer of abundant life. He said, I came that you might have life and have it more. Take the offer. Take the offer of being made whole from inside out. Take the offer of the peace that passeth all understanding. See, you're thinking and you're stressing them in your own mind, but he's offering, he said, the peace that I give you. The world didn't give it, and they can't take the offer of acknowledge him in all your ways, and he shall direct your path. If you don't know which way you're going, take the offer. Take the offer of this life-changing relationship with the God of your understanding, the one who is inside of you, the one you were seated with before the foundation of. Take the offer that the contract you signed, I'm going to live out this life the way, not what I have been conditioned to believe, but what I have come to know from the God of my understanding. Take the offer. Take the offer and say, I'm going all in on living victoriously. Tell somebody, take the offer. Thank you. God bless you.
Amen. Take the offer. Amen.